welcome. Good morning. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is In the Mix presents Judas Priest, a moment of inspiration. Um, Thank you guys again. I do morning inspiration every morning, Monday through Friday. Saturday is now my off day, and then Sunday I start my morning inspiration off with the evening, Sunday evening moment of inspiration. Uh, Thank you guys for tuning in. Uh, just the first thing to start off with, I just want to thank everybody that watching the Mix podcast and come on. We're having a great time with the shows. This month we've been talking about Black History Month, spotlighting different events and people in Black history. So keep following us and looking out for that. Don't forget, tomorrow starts off with Lady T. Then you have Tuesday talk with Judas Priest. And then you have Jevy, the real. And then you have Mr. Fresh with his fresh tape. Then again, you have all of us again Friday. So thank you guys again for watching it. So one thing I want to start off with, and I just got to say this. I know a lot of people say, well, Judas Priest, and how is he giving us inspiration with the name Judas Priest? But I just want to. It's funny because Judas Priest is definitely my personality for my podcast, and that name was given to me for reasons. There's just a whole bunch, but I want to say that I love it because you never know what you're going to get with Judas Priest, and I definitely believe that you can always learn anything from everybody, and everybody has a story to tell, and everybody's been through things. So that's number one thing with me, and number two is I love to encourage and I love to speak into people's life. One thing I learned at a very age is that I was able to tear people down with my tongue. I'm able to talk snap. I'm able to give you a comeback just like this. And I learned that. And I learned that I was very quick with it. And it was just came natural to tear somebody down, to talk, to make you cry. I made adults cry and get upset, and here I am just a kid. And I learned that I had that. And it was with my godfather, who was my pastor for over 25 years. And he, and he molded that and shaped that into me being able to speak life into people and build people up. It's very easy to tear people down and make them feel bad, but it's a hard thing to build people up, and you got to have that sincerity to actually mean what you say. I just want to start this one off talking about me a little bit and give you my little testimony right quick. Over 2 years ago, 2 years 2 years ago, I went to the hospital. I was in Georgia, living in Georgia, and I went to the hospital. And I went to the hospital because I thought I had a lymph nodes that had got infected and it bust and everything. So I went to the hospital to get treated for that. And when I was in the hospital treated for that, they came in my room, and I got machines and everything on me, and everything started happening real quick, real fast. It was like October. I was in the hospital for October to December, and the COVID had just started, so I didn't know what was going on. No one could really come to see me, anything like that. The only thing I could do was call and talk to people on the phone and text. And the doctor came in, and every day the doctor would come in and tell me that the percentage of my kidney was failing, and I was getting, and that was just it. She'll come in and tell me, "Oh, your kidneys at such percent working," and then leave back out. Number one, it was the start of the pandemic, so I was scared because no one could come. My sister was in Georgia, and my father, but they couldn't come and be with me anyway, so that was kind of scary. And then two, I'm a once people give me information, I start looking things up. I panic and everything like that. And it was kind of scary because I didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, what is she talking about? They start throwing out dialysis, doing all this crazy stuff. And hey, I tell you what, it's always good to know that you are loved and know that people are cared for you. I just want to take this time. I really just shout out my sisters. They was such a help doing this. My sister and my mom, they stayed talking on the phone to calling the nurse when they couldn't get in touch with me, calling the floor when they wouldn't come in to respond to me or check up on me, or when I needed something and no one would come in the room for hours after hours. My sisters and my mom made sure they called, and checked the nurses and got things done for me. And it was really scary because I'm like, I don't know what happened. I know I got out the bed, like after being in the hospital for 2 months. I got out the bed and I fell flat on my face, and they didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't have any. I didn't have the function of my legs anymore. Apparently, from the infection and my loss of kidneys and everything like that, all my protein kind of went out my body, uh, and then it took it from the most where I had the most protein from. And it's crazy because I'm like, wow, this is crazy. How did they not know I could walk? At that moment, I'm like, I called my sister. Was like, hey, I gotta get the heck out of a ladder. Yeah, it's 2 years, right? I was like, I gotta get out of the ladder. These people try to kill me. And so we got together with the doctor, with the insurance people, to get everything together. And when they discharged me in January of that next year, she actually came down and I got on a plane and we packed up my stuff and we moved back up here. And then by the time we got up here, we had a dialysis center picked out for me and a doctor's appointment set up. They already had everything set up. DW and them and Tanya and Ashley was had together who was going to do what and all of these things like that. So it's very good because that brings me to what I want to talk about today, and I want to talk about who is in your boat, knowing who's in your boat, and knowing what's in your boat, because it's very important that you know who's in your boat, because that can then and what's in your boat, because you got to know what type of help you have, what type of aid that you have in your boat. You got to know all of these things. Number one, I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite stories. My favorite stories ever. Everybody knows. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read it real quick from the. I'm only gonna do what you can look it up. It's in Matthew 8:23-7-27, and then it's Mark 4:35. Right, and then the last one is Luke 8:22-25. It's just my favorite one. I'm gonna read it to you guys, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. It said, "Now it came to pass on a certain day that he went into a ship with his disciples, and he said unto them, Let us go over unto the other side of the lake. And they launched forth. But as they sailed, he fell asleep, and there came down a storm of wind on the lake, and they were filled with water and were in jeopardy. And they came to him and awoke him, saying, Master, Master, we perish. Then he arose and rebuked the wind and the raging of the water, and they ceased, and they were calm. And he said unto them, Where is your faith? And they being afraid wondered, saying one to another, What manner of man is this, for he commandeth even the winds, water, and obey him? And I'm saying that to start off with, you got to know who's in your boat. Number one reason why you can know who's in your boat, because, and I know I said that earlier this week about people needing people or getting help from people, but that's one of the reasons why you need to know who's in your boat, because things happen or you come across things, and here you are panicking because all these things going on and happening in your life, and it looks like you about to go over, the boat about to fill up with water, and it feels like it's over for you. You can't swim, You don't got a life jacket. You don't know nothing about boats, and all this sudden, just all this stuff start happening in your life, and it's scary and very scary. And you know, you got to know who's in your boat with you. If you got somebody that's good, that this person might be a lifeguard, been a lifeguard all their life. So that part covered. Oh, good, you got that in your boat. This person right here might know CPR. Good. This person know the O's, the C's, and you got to know who's in your boat, because one thing you don't want to do is start panicking and worrying, and then when we panic and we worry, we get even worse with things that come in life. We make it worse than what it is. We give ourselves heart attacks. We get our high blood pressure going up. We make our sugar go up. Would make us have a panic attack. And I know about a panic attack because when I was in the hospital, and the more they came in there and told me things and tell me things and say this is going on and just randomly telling me stuff that I didn't know what it was for, I sat there and pondered on it. And the next thing you know, I would make my blood pressure go up. Then I had a full-blown panic attack. I'd never had a panic attack a day in my life. Didn't know how it felt, but it felt like a heart attack to me. And I'm sitting there crying and lean back like, oh, Lord, I'm about to die. And I wasn't ready. And I was panicking because I didn't, and I've been in I've been believing in God my whole life, but what was in front of me was real. Like in the story, that wind and no waves was real. It was coming in the boat. It said it was filling up. The wind was blowing dangerously. It was a storm. So it's not. I'm not saying that the appearance didn't scare them. The appearance of the storm definitely scares us. The appearance of what we're going through scares us. But I'm saying to know your resources, know who you have in your life, know what you have in your boat, because it goes the other way. Because you want to know if you have that scaredy cat. You want to know if you got that backstabber in your boat. You want to know if you have that one that's gonna push you over to say they sell first. You gotta know who's in your boat. Got to, because then you got to know, what do they offer? What are they offering you? Is this person offering me good advice? Is this person offering me something that I can look at and govern myself with? What is these people offering? Or is everything that they offering and everything they said to me something negative or something wrong or something that makes me to tear me down? Nothing that's building me up. You got to know what these type of people are that's in your boat, okay? And then we get down to when he says, did you care? Do you care that we gonna perish? Now I laugh at that because it's like, think about it. See the person in your boat, everything going crazy. But why did he not know what was going on? Because he was asleep. Sometimes you got people on your boat that's unaware of what you're going through. Just because they're in the boat with you don't mean they know how you feel, how you think, and what you're going through. You have to be able to talk and wake people up and tell them, hey, I'm going through this right now. Communication is key. It wasn't until they woke him up and say, Master, do you care if we perish? And then he was able to take care of it and do something for him. But a lot of times we close mouth and we don't want anybody to know that we're struggling or that we're not getting as many hours at work. Our car down for the moment, and we don't know how bad our transportation is. We want to keep everything secretive and to ourselves. And I'm okay. You can be a private person, but there's a time and a place for everything. And when you're drowning in the rivers and the oceans and the wind is coming over and taking over you, it is not the time to be silent. It's the time to yell help. It's the time to reach out and say, I need help. Don't be too prideful that you drown and die because you're too scared to say you need help. And I learned that because I'm a private person, and I don't like people doing things for me because I don't like people throwing it in my face, or I don't like people misusing it later on and stuff, or it getting out. And that's a problem because guess what? I should know that those type of people are in my boat. I should know that I got a backstabber in my boat. I should know that this person gonna go back and tell my business on my boat. And that's what I'm saying. Know who is in your boat, people. Govern yourself accordingly unto who's in your boat, and you'll be okay. There's no need for you to just go along with life with you struggling in the boat, and you got especially the people that got 20, 30 people in your boat. You know, you got all these people in your boat, and nobody can help you. Nobody can reach out. No one can do anything for you. That's it's really sad, and it says a lot too, because that means have you done anything in these people's lives? Did you do anything to touch them? Have you ever reached out to them? Have you ever did anything in their time of need? Because it says a lot when it's time when you're in trouble or you need help and nobody can do it and nobody can come help you. It really does. So I just be mindful of that. You as much as a person sow that person reaps. You know, if you reap, are you sowing those seeds of I'll help or I can help you or do you okay? Everything okay? How many people call people anymore just to check on people and see how they doing? Oh, I haven't heard from you in a while. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm just checking to see how you're doing. It's a pandemic. Hey, are you okay? Or how are you surviving the COVID? It's 2022. We need to be a little bit more positive, a little bit more encouraging, a little push a little bit more harder because we need it. We need each other to build us up when we're weak. We need each other to build each other up when we are during our weak moments, when our depressed moments. You know, uh, can't stress that enough. You know, it's find that person, help those people out, encourage them, call them, text. We got our phones, we got all of this technology, group texts, and we got Duo, we got Apple View, and all of this. You got all of these things, but we don't use it in any of the positive ways. So we just use it to spread gossip, and to tell people business, and to look up other celebrity business and things like that. We don't use it for any of the positive things, and that's one of the reasons why I do morning inspiration is so that I can inspire people and give people a good start to the day. You know, with a little bit of inspiration and some how I feel about different things, and it's encouraging because I want people to know that they're not by themselves on the way that they think or the things that they go through. Because it you can go through a little bit better when you realize that you're not the only one, and that somebody else can have it worse than you, and be grateful. Thank you guys again for watching Judas Priest, a moment of inspiration. Uh, Today, I just appreciate you guys for coming in and watching it. Stay tuned. You know, this week in the midst got a lot of things going on and happening. Uh, Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, you people. Be blessed. Good evening. Thank you guys for watching In the Mix podcast presents Jesus Priest, a moment of inspiration. Um, Thank you for letting me in your homes this evening and just giving you some inspiring words of courage. This year, you know, we definitely want to uplift and encourage people because we've been through a lot this year and last year. So, so I just want to stay encouraged and don't forget the message was about who's in your boat. And hey, I want you to take that this week and think about who do you have in your boat and who do you need in your boat and who do you want in your boat. You guys have a great evening. And don't forget, spend this time with your family and friends. You guys have a great one. Be blessed.